Hello everyone, it's Inque here, and we're playing Battlefleet Gothic. Yep, it's time, folks. Now, this is not going to be a consistent series in the same way as my previous Sins ones. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between stuff. There's going to be a bit of multiplayer, and a bit of campaign game. The main decision maker about which one is going to be which is going to be whether people are actually online to play with in the multiplayer, because this is an older game. There is still a community for it, but it's kind of a small community, so I'm gonna have to take it as it comes in a way. Now, fun fact, I actually recorded for like an hour of Space Marines, showing you how they worked and doing alright. Got two wins, one loss against various people, and then I came out of it and it turned out that my recording software had recorded none of it because it hates me. So we're going to do something different because I don't want to go through that again, because I don't like Space Marines. They're okay, I guess, but they're not great. They have their issues. They're not my playstyle. So, I'm not going to play Imperial Navy because Imperial Navy is what you play in the campaign, so I'm going to save that for there. I'm not going to play Chaos because no matter how much I love Chaos, I played too much of them and I kind of want to do something different. I don't like Orcs. Orcs are entertaining as hell, but they're not my playstyle. Which means Eldar Corsairs or Tower Empire. Which is basically, do I want to go through micro hell, or do I want to play the borderline broken folks? Amusingly enough, both of these guys have in their time been considered borderline overpowered or just flat out overpowered. They do have their weaknesses. Both are somewhat fragile. The Eldar Corsairs need to be constantly on the move, and their firing arcs are so finicky that you basically have to have personal control over every ship in question. And then the Tau Empire, their basic ships are terrible. Their light cruisers are just not good. They rely heavily on their escorts, and escorts in this game I don't like. They're generally a waste of points. So, choices. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go for Eldar. New Admiral. Inque. There we go. Because I think that it should at least be entertaining watching me freak out, trying to make sure that everything doesn't die horrifically. So yes, let's see what happens with that. Well, we got our fleet set up, and then we'll play a couple of matches. See what sort of time that takes and how it all looks. Space Marine ships have lower hull points but best armor in the game, making them resistant to macro weapons but weak against lancers. So this is the Eldar fleet. They get a bunch of different escort ships, which are actually really good escorts, and you'd probably use them all the time if it wasn't for the fact that everything in the Eldar fleet is so micro-intensive. Oh, Corsair groups. I can actually pick my colour scheme. This is something which they added after I stopped playing last time, actually. Void Dragons, Eldritch Raiders, Twilight Swords, Steel-Eye Reavers. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, let's go Steel-Eye. So, got the Hellebore, which is a mess. Pulsars, cannons, torpedoes, all the things. So, let's take a look at our cruisers. Our light cruisers, I should say. We have the Aurora and the Solaris. This really comes down to how you want to play. Do you want to go with launch bays, or do you want to go with torpedoes and pulsars? In other words, do you want to go easy mode, or do you want to go masochism mode? Now the easy option definitely is to load up on your launch bays. because you can basically just run around at a long range and kite people and do horrible damage, and it's awful because it's really hard to fight against. Now, the other reason to take the Solaris is it's a heavy star cannon. It has heavy star cannons. There is a theoretical way to play Eldar with star cannons, which are like the basic weapons batteries, but it's not easy. So I've got a number of things I've got kind of three options I could go for here. I could go for the micro-intensive torpedo and pulsar stuff, I could go for launch bays, or I could go for star cannons. And the nice thing is I don't really have to choose just yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 Auroras, and I'm going to leave the last ship slot open, because when you're starting out, you actually only get room for 2 light cruisers in any given battle. So, what do we want to do? First things first, we need to be able to block people from being able to lock onto us. If people can see you, then you're going to die horribly. We need to be able to work out what other people's ships are, and we need to be able to lock them down. So we've got a lot of arguing things there. What I'm going to go for, though, is Vol's maneuver. Now, Eldar's big thing is that they are super mobile. And they kind of have to be, because they are really fragile. They've got terrible HP. Their armor value is 25 all round. So that means that there is a 25% chance of blocking all incoming damage from a given attack. Considering that most people have an armor of 50, Space Marines have an armor of 75 on all sides, the Imperial Navy has an armor of 75 on the front, you get the picture. So, why is this particular build such a nightmare to control? Well, these are your weapons. You have your torpedo bays, which are... they're nice torpedoes. They are quick, they are very good at avoiding being shot down by turrets. They ignore armor entirely, so if they hit, they're going to do something. I believe that the Eldar torpedoes have higher crit chance. And yeah, torpedoes are nice weapons in general, but they're unguided and they have fixed firing arcs, so you need to be on the ball in order to get them to hit. Here's the other weapon. Pulsars. So basically, pulsars are a weapon which you aim, you fire, you click the button to start firing. They keep firing over a period of time directly forwards, and then they're done. You can see here, enemy ship's armor is always counted as 25%. Deals damage once every second over 3 seconds to the first ship directly ahead, and it can cause permanent critical damage, which is also cool. So we've got a lot of problems which we've got to deal with. Basically, we've got to be able to get pointing directly at people in order to use both of our weapons. Torpedoes have unlimited range, but they can be dodged. We need to be facing at people in order to use the prow lancers. We're going to be in danger of getting close enough to be detected in doing that. And we're probably going to have to come to a standstill in order to actually get these things to aim properly, which means that we're going to lose all of our defensiveness. And we've got to manage all of these conflicting things over 2 ships. Masochism. So let's try and find our first match. I'm excited. Alrighty, here we go. 250 point cruiser clash. This is the only thing which you have when your fleet is level 1. We're up against Space Marines. And we have bonus points. We have 37 bonus points. That's a little scary. You only get bonus points if you're up against an enemy with a higher ranked fleet. So we have 71 bonus points to play with. Which means we could go ahead and get some smaller ships. And I am actually going to do that. I'm not going to get a Hellebore, because that is the same loadout as my big cruisers, and that's more than I care to deal with. I could get a Nightshade for more torpedoes, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get an Aconite. Which has a surprising amount of firepower, actually. And the main reason why I have it is for scouting purposes. And because it's a fire and forget ship, I can just send it out to attack something, and it'll do it. And I'll probably lose it, and I won't really care, because it's an escort. Escorts you have no limit on, essentially. GLHF, or Gulf and Hoof. If you get that reference, then have a cookie. Alrighty, so the question is, how many ships does he have? That will give us some idea of what loadout he's running. And there's my Aconite. Ready? Yeah. So you can see these things here, these are gas clouds. If you go into them, then people lose their lock on you, essentially. Now this is an interesting fleet, because I don't actually care much about locks. And the only ship which I have which actually needs to lock onto anything is my escort ship, and that's just a throwaway. They have 2 ships. In a 250 point match, that means they have 2 light cruisers. I know all about this because I was just playing Space Marines. Now most people have void shields, which just absorb damage. We have our hollow fields, which are this yellow bar up here. And basically, these basically give us dodge chance. So there is a significantly higher chance to just completely evade any damage taken when it involves when those hollow fields are at full. So let's just line up. There we go, torpedoes away. And let's get moving. Actually, no, this was a terrible idea. Rotate the camera around again, because I need my mini-maps to be orientated correctly. Otherwise I have nightmares. Okay, so we missed, and they do have some Stormhawks, some fighters which can intercept the torpedoes, so that's something we have to bear in mind. Gonna turn around briefly. I'm gonna send a frigate in just to get a lock on them.
Moving to that location. Until the end.
Okay. What we've done there is Tactical Cogitator, which allows us to basically slow down time. So we can make sure that everything just really goes through. Okay. Okay, so we have... what are these things? Launch bays. Okay, we're definitely going to need to repair because we are seriously on fire. Okay, so they have a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. Let's see, the Mark II has prow lancers, and the Mark I has torpedoes. So that's something to bear in mind. Okay, let's just move in here, turn around, just keep them distracted. You can see that we're, despite the fact that we've got 2 light cruisers shooting at us, we're actually taking surprisingly little damage. And our star cannons are just steadily chewing away at them. So, actually going to do lock on. Okay, and yeah, that's about to die. which is unfortunate, but let's go ahead and drop our torpedoes out. So our engagement range is set to 6 kilometers, which means that we can actually just tell our ships to attack stuff, and they will get into 6 kilometers, which is cool because it means we can. It takes a little bit of the hassle out of our pulsars. Okay, what are you actually doing? Because you can't actually fight me if you're doing that. Let's just keep chasing them in. Let's see what we can do. Oh shit. That's bad. Okay, I am really glad that I didn't use my orders. Okay, so what I just did there, they dropped a recon probe there, which means they could just work out exactly where I was. I was detected, identified all the bad stuff. So what I did was I went to running silent, which breaks locks. And in fact, they have no idea where I am currently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell these guys to full stop. Actually, no, we're a little too close. We're a little too close. Focusing target. No, I don't want that. I was wondering why they were trying to do weird, silly buggers. Okay. No. Here we go. Okay. Then we've been identified. I could do without that. Okay. So we're going to turn around. Which we're going to need to, in order to fire off a torpedo salvo. Okay, these are boarding torpedoes, which is going to suck, but... Okay, you can see our pulsars firing off there. And now we just got our hull fields back up to full, and we're going to move. Quick. Deck destroyed. Okay, so we've lost special orders with this one. We've done some damage. That one's on fire, and we've done a bunch of nasty things. So, and the other good thing is we are actually in a position to use our pulsars again. So we're going to turn around. Pulsars up. Whoa. Okay. Yep, that sucked. Okay. Engines damaged. No, bad. Awful. Okay, engines are just flat out dead. Okay, but the good news is we have actually taken out one of them. Okay, unfortunately, yeah, that is something which can happen. We got rammed, we got knocked into there, and our ship just blew up. Which is so very far from ideal. But the good news is we are undercover, we have escape detection range, and we can just burn straight out of there. Why can you still detect us? Seriously. Okay, come on. Okay, we're going to turn around. Get out, get out, get out. Weapon destroyed. Okay, we have lost all of our guns. There is no point in staying here. We just need to get some distance.
As you wish.
Which our engines are damaged, but they're not destroyed. What's our damaged weapon system here? I'm not actually sure.
Move at full speed.
Come on, we just need to get our repair going. That will repair our engines and our weapon systems.
Setting sail.
Assault boat success, I could really do without that. That's a hull breach. Okay,
Call forth the bone signal.
so we have our torpedoes back.
Moving to that.
And we're moving at full speed again.
As you wish.
We just need to be able to escape, essentially. Come on, come on. Another speed boost, that will get us in here, and then there is no way you'll be able to keep detecting me from there.
The void is our home now.
How am I still identified? What the hell?
Solar winds. Swiftly. As you wish. Move at full speed. Setting
Just
sail.
trying to abuse the thing's turn rate, but yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna happen.
We ride the solar winds.
Another fucking hull breach.
The enemy.
Okay, turn around. Torpedoes. No, that was a terrible shot.
The void is our home now.
That goes a little distance. That's something.
Moving to that location.
I mean, we do have a speed advantage over this guy, but I think that I have a feeling that the Wraithbone shift and we're on fire.
We ride the solar winds. We cannot
Okay,
to the
let's see if we can get out. So warp drive engaged.
sustaining heavy fire.
This is gonna be close. And we made it. Barely. Okay. So you can see the potential with Eldar. They are I really utterly destroyed that first cruiser. But the second one, once I lost my first ship and the second one started taking damage, I was just hunted down and obliterated. So that is the danger that you face with Eldar. And that was a pretty poor result overall. But I got one kill, so it could be worse. So here we are, back to our fleet screen. Cool. And we did get a rank on the Harbinger of Echoes, so that is something. It has been damaged, but we can repair that easily enough. You can speed up repairs by spending renown, which is your resource up here. It's pretty cheap early on, but it gets more expensive as your rank goes up and as the ships get bigger. Let's go ahead and let's see. So we've got Spirit Stones. This is a defensive thing here. Spirit Stones provide the that's skill cooldown and stuff. Warlocks. This is a boost crit chance on our weapons. Better repairs. This is reduced chance to be lost in the warp. And this is insubordination. We don't worry about insubordination. We're Eldar, we're disciplined. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to go for Spirit Stones on here, because that is going to boost our torpedo reload time and our pulsar reload time. Now, for upgrades, what do we want to do here? So this is better lightning strikes. If we're using lightning strikes, then something's gone terribly wrong. Boosted shield, pulsar damage against shields, that could be a big deal. Lock-on special order pulsars. Pulsar's chance of dealing critical damage is doubled. Well, that could be useful. Extra turrets, belt armor. Improves the duration of running silent by 100%. Shorter things. Okay, brace for impact improvements. Longer use for all of those. Special orders can keep being used. Detection range is boosted. Whole field can be reduced under 20% efficiency. Reduces Wraithbone Shift's cooldown by 5 seconds. Reduces critical damage penalty caused by fragile. Damage done by asteroids to the ship are negated. When on a gas cloud or asteroid field, people are even less accurate. Speed penalty is divided by up to 2 times. So, engine criticals aren't as bad. Better return time, and better maximum speed. So there's a lot of cool stuff here. What I think I'm going to do is grab a resonating crystal focusing, just to give us a little bit more initial punch. Now I could spend 10 renown to get the ship back, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get a Solaris. And then skills here. What do we want for a Solaris? Now Solaris does need to be able to detect people. So what I think I will do is I'm going to grab a... what do I want? Let's grab a Wandering Spirit Stone. That is the equivalent to the detection probe, which they dropped out on us last game. So that'll give us some ability to detect people even if they try playing silly buggers and gas clouds. Cool, let's go ahead and find another match. Well, turns out there weren't any more people to fight, so we are playing campaign. I skipped through all of the cutscenes because I'm focusing more on gameplay here. If you are really interested in the storyline, then go buy the game or watch someone else play through it. I am going to be focusing on stuff and things. So this is the campaign map. This is the Gothic sector. Abaddon the Despoiler, Abaddon, whatever, is invading. He's claiming all sorts of nonsense, and it is our job to try and stop it. And this takes the form of a number of missions which we have to do, crises which show up regularly, and we have a fleet to do it with. So, let's go back to Port Moore for a moment, and we can take a look at our fleet. In your own time, game. So we're playing, here we go. We are playing the Imperial Navy. Jack of all trades, master of none is not an unfair description of them. They can do a lot of things well, but they will usually be outclassed in some fashion by someone. Now with that, we have 2 Dauntless light cruisers. We have a Mark 1 and a Mark 2, and we have room for a 3rd ship as well. Now, Dauntless are kind of different to the Eldar ships we were looking at. The Mark 1, both of them have these heavy weapons batteries along the side and some dorsal turrets. The difference comes in what happens on the prow. This variant has a prow lance, and the Mark II has torpedo batteries. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not big into torpedoes in general. But they can be useful. So I am actually going to. I'm going to get 2 baseline Dauntless, and have the Mark II available as a secondary ship, if you will. Now this one is rank 2, because it's your flagship. It's the one which you command in the tutorial if you play it. I skipped it because I played it through and I know how to play the game. But it does mean we have a few things to do. So first of all, this is a heavy gunship, so we're definitely going to want the Master Gunner upgrade. We need a skill and we need an upgrade. So what are we going to do with this? Boosted accuracy, well, armor penetration, boosted range, boosted lance damage. We only have 1 lance, so I'm not super worried about that. Let's go ahead and grab belt armor, I think, because losing systems is always bad. So now we have skills to buy. We don't have anything which is in massive need of detection, but knowing what we're up against is kind of useful. What I'm going to do is, let's see, rally, void shield transfer. I'm going to go ahead and grab a stasis bomb on this one. We want to get, I'll grab an auger probe for this one. And then for this one, we are going to go. Let's go with another stasis bomb. So we've got some nice crowd control options and a bit of detection. So we've got a fairly well-rounded setup here. Let's go back to the Gothic sector. Now, currently there is just 1 mission available, but soon things will get out of control. There'll be far more fires to put out than you have any hope of being able to manage. So there is precisely 1 mission, which is right here. Cruiser Clash. We're up against Imperials. These are basically just renegades who are running around and being dumb. So, going to launch that. Now it's not just a map of here are your battles, pick which one you want to go for. Each of those points actually has something which it does. Some benefit which it gives you turn to turn on the campaign map, and if you lose control of them, then you lose that benefit, and you might even start taking penalties. So you really need to work out exactly what you're doing. Okay, we're going to take the flagship, and we're going to take our Mark II. And then we don't have room for any of our escorts. If I'd taken 2 of the Mark Is, then I might have been able to fit something in, but I'm not super worried because I've mentioned my opinion of escorts. Now, to be fair, the Imperial escorts are nice. There are a couple of them which are, if you give them some upgrades, actually really brutal. And I may look at doing that at some point, but for the moment, we just have a straight cruiser clash, and we're up against 3 ships. So what do we have? We've got 1 over there, 1 over here. No eyes on the 3rd. So that could have been a number of things. It could just be could just have gone straight into stealth mode. I don't think that the deployment zone is far enough forward to get in here, but I guess we'll find out. In the meantime, we're going to just set a course directly forwards.
That's your command.
Rotate the map, because the angle might look cool, but it bugs the hell out of me. Drop the auger probe so I can work out what this thing is. Set the lock on. Oh, hello, that's a minefield.
Your orders?
Okay, so if we take a quick look at the engagement orders, you can take this set to broadside engagement at 6 kilometers. And so is this one, which makes sense. That's the range of our macro batteries, and it'll give us plenty to work with. So we're going to lock onto that, which will get us a better torpedo firing solution. Hello, that's a Cobra. Okay. Now, do we want to do melter torpedoes? Nah, that's kind of a waste. Let's just do standard torpedoes. Going to set boarding actions to automatic.
Orders received.
Okay. Now the Cobra is a light missile destroyer essentially. Oh yeah, we ate that torpedo, but didn't do too much.
Successful boarding action.
Boarded twice. It's on fire, and our macro batteries are just chewing it apart.
Understood.
The early battles are pretty easy. Out of interest, I have set the overall campaign difficulty to hard, so that could be exciting. Okay, that is a stasis bomber going off. You can tell because of the size. That means that this is a light cruiser or a cruiser of some description.
Helm coordinates acknowledged.
So, let's return the favor. Okay, that is not a stasis bomb. I don't know what it is,
Enemy ships sighted.
but I don't approve. Okay, that was a disruption bomb, so it just nuked our shields. That's, okay, what's... Okay, so these are both Dauntless light cruisers, so we are outnumbered and outgunned somewhat here. You're taking damage, so I'm going to put you on brace for impact.
Course plotted.
Your torpedoes are back up, so you should
Orders.
make that work.
Understood. Ship ready. Engines
Okay,
hot.
and we're going to go ahead and drop a spread of multi torpedoes,
At your command.
which okay, now that was poor. We estimated the range poorly there.
Setting course.
There we go, lovely. Just keep rotating around, keeping people in our broadsides.
Ready.
This way we can keep firing on both sides. We're sat between them. And we should get brace for impact there as well.
Changing course.
No, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. It's all good, it's all good.
Underway.
This one here can use its prow lancers and its dorsal turrets, so
Your orders.
steadily chewing this guy apart. Let's see. Oh, we took a lightning strike. I could do without that.
Burn ready.
So we're gonna freeze up there. Just keep
Helm
rotating.
acknowledged.
Fire torpedoes.
Changing course.
Okay, that is a lot of fires.
Cruising speed set.
Yeah, that is why multi torpedoes can be worth it. If you know that they've used their repair ability, then yeah, they just start burning like crazy. Okay, and they're trying to pull out. It's all gonna be about if I can.
Ready.
He got out barely.
Yes,
That's sad, but whatever. Spin around. We have our torpedoes almost back up.
understood.
And we're going to get another spread of multi torpedoes.
Orders received.
And yep, we're going to get some nice hits. One fire. I'll take it.
Understood. Engines hot.
Okay.
Helm coordinates acknowledged.
Oh, no, you don't.
Waiting orders.
Cancel warp failure. Ram.
All ahead full.
Ah, missed the ram.
Cruising speed
That was dumb.
set.
Oh well, he got away, but we won the battle. I'm not sure if I actually get any particular benefit from killing them of letting them run, because renown gets calculated. Actually, I don't know how it works in campaign. I guess we're about to find out. Doot 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 doot. Anytime you're ready. There we go. Okay, so oh no, we did oh no, that was the escort. So 1 ship destroyed, 2 ships crippled, bonus round points for not using up all of our points, fleet upkeep penalty, and -1% because one of our worlds is not under our control. Hey look, level up. This makes me happy. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and see how see what our fleet looks like. Yay, loading screens. Okay, here we go. So you can see we've actually reclaimed that planet. We drove off the insurgent forces, so now we control the entire Gothic sector again. And that's it. That is the end of turn 2. So, end turn. Let's see what happens. 139.m41.
Our supply lines are being raided by orc
Okay, so this is the notification that orcs are now in the game.
Keeping them off balance. Admiral Spire, your orders are to escort an important Imperial convoy of equipment and food to Bladen. This world is suffering from the predations of the pirates, and millions will starve if these supplies don't reach their
Lord
destination.
Admiral Ravensburg. Okay, so orcs work a little differently. It's kind of interesting. All of the different factions have their own specific mechanics here. So, orcs have been detected. They will fight to take planets from you. Systems under their control will give you penalties depending on the system's type and make them more aggressive. Orcs have a moderate chance of attacking a system each turn. For each planet they control, they have an increased chance of launching another attack. So, kill them. Kill them fast, is the bottom line. So we have a priority mission here, which is an orc attack, and over here in Port Moore we have a cruiser class to deal with as well, but we have to take this one, because priority missions. Let's go back to Port Moore quickly, take a look at our fleet, and then we'll wrap it up. And we can get back to beating off the orcs next time. Excuse me for my sudden silence. I just looked around, saw my cat was in the room, and was like, where the hell were you? Are you hiding in the cupboard again? She does that. Okay, so, level 2. That means we've unlocked cruisers. This is good. Cruisers are good. Alright, so Dauntless Mark 2. Yeah, we're going to want Master Gunners here. Because even though it's a torpedo boat, it still has a lot of guns. So we're going to unlock that slot. Now, the Imperials have a lot of cruisers. The question is, what do we want to get? We've got the Luna, which is lancers, macro batteries, and torpedoes. It's a jack of all trades, does a lot of things. 6,000, kind of a mid-range brawler. We've got the Tyrant, which has plasma macro batteries and standard macro batteries, which is plasma macro batteries have much longer range. But they do have reduced crit chance, so reduced crit chance and reduced damage as well. So this is kind of a support vessel. I'd probably pick a Lunar over this one for a actual brawler. We have the Dominator, which is just all about the macro batteries, and it also has a Nova cannon, which is kind of an artillery weapon as an alternative to torpedoes. We have the Gothic, which I have an irrational love for. This is all about the lance batteries. 4 lance batteries, 2 on each side. It can spit out a lot of lance damage. Lances do a lot to mess up hulls. They're not so hot against shields, is their big weakness. There are upgrades which you can get to deal with that, but their slow refire, high damage sort of thing means that they're better against hard targets, essentially. And the Dictator, which is our carrier. It's got macro batteries and launch bays. Now, there are a few things that I can do here. I adore the Gothic way more than I should. It's also the cheapest one available here, which can be useful. The thing about Lancers is that they always hit unless you're firing at Eldar. They're always going to do stuff. They basically ignore armor. They do a lot of damage. They're just really nice weapons overall. So I think I am going to take a Gothic. I Like the choices are basically I take a Gothic or I take a Dominator. If I take a Dominator, then I'm gonna go full Nova Cannon. Just grab as many Nova Cannons as I can. I've not been terribly impressed by Nova Cannons, but you know what? That could be entertaining, so sure. Let's go for a Dominator. These heavy close-range macro batteries will make some great broadsides, and be some great support for my Dauntless, so let's do the thing. Look at that gun. That gun is ridiculous. Alright, so we have 2 skills available to us. Now, bearing in mind that we're only going to get a few shots with the main cannon, we want to try and maximize their use somehow. So how do I want to do that? We already have stasis bombs, which we can make use of. The Nova Cannon has a minimum range of 6,000 meters, so that's something to bear in mind. I'm going to go for Supercharged Void Shield, because the ship is going to kind of alternate between being a brawler and being a support weapon. So this will give us some tankiness. And then what else do we want? I'm not super worried about Rally. We already have a Auger Beacon. I'm going to go ahead and grab Micro Warp Jump, I think. Cool, and then we have a upgrade which we can get for the Redeemer of Eternity. This is our torpedo boat. So, torpedo speed plus 50%. Yes. That sounds pretty nice, I'll be honest. On the other hand, belt armor. What do we want? What do we want to go for? Let's go for short burn torpedoes. I think that having our torpedoes just blitz forwards faster will be very nice, both at long and short range for disrupting formations at the very least. So, that is our setup. We have some light cruisers, we have our first cruiser, and next time we're going to go fight orcs. Cool, sounds good. So until then, folks, stay safe.